Hello. I keep forgetting this new chair. It sits a lot higher than my old one. Hello. Welcome to a hello again. Welcome to a lunchtime edition of Mornings with Stanley. I had to get up early this morning to go to Glen Rose to the dentist. Got my teeth cleaned. Feels good. Came home and the plumbers came back to look at the line. They were supposed to come yesterday, but the main plumber had to go deal with something at his own house. An air conditioner was out, so he had to meet somebody there. So they came today, and I finally learned what I should have learned last week. If you want to take, if you have hot water in your tank, but you're not producing more hot water, just get it up, turn the hot water on, get wet, soap up, and then turn the water back off, then soap up, and then turn the water back on and rinse off. I took really short showers last night after working out and this morning, and it was fantastic. I was warm the whole time. But now they came back today and they fixed it. They found out there was a leak in the line that went to the water heater, the old water heater that we're replacing. He said it's just, he could go get that replaced. I said, well, we're replacing it next week sometime, I think. So, it's getting removed next Tuesday. So I said, don't even bother. Just disconnect the gas to that and I'll be great. I can I have hot showers because they lit the pilot light on the other water heater, and I can have a hot shower whenever I want one now, and I can take long ones if I want. And that's what I'm going to do, maybe. Or maybe I've learned something. Maybe we had this, I was kind of a jerk. Sometimes I try to be funny and I just turn out to be a jerk. But the Kiwanis, I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club, and we had this lady come out. She was a Texas Tech Red Raider graduate, young lady, probably about 25 or so, recent graduate of Tech. And she works for the Water Conservation Board here, a new organization, I guess. They just opened an office here in Cleveland. And she was working for him, and she gave a presentation. I was kind of a jerk. She talked about short showers and saving water, conserving water, and I was just joking, because I'm a jerk. I've said that several times, so now you know I'm a jerk sometimes. But I'm really just trying to be funny. I'm not really a jerk. I just sound like one. Anyway, so I've always felt a little bit bad about that conversation, that meeting when she came, because I should have apologized to her and said, I'm sorry, I was just a jerk. I'm just trying to be funny. But she came in and talked about the water issues, and we get water out of the ground, or it's Lake Pat Cleveland here, but the groundwater, it's not like the rain that falls here isn't the water that we would get. It's water way up north somewhere. And so when we're sharing water with all these different people, I know the Heiko was groundwater, and I guess Newcastle, I can't remember. I think they were groundwater as well, or we got it from Lake Graham. I can't remember. It might have been Lake Graham. But anyway, I was thinking I couldn't take that kind of shower. I enjoy my hot showers too much, but I discovered, I can do that and use less water, save time. Maybe I could sleep a few minutes longer if I would just take a shower like that every day. We'll see. I might do it one more time and then I'll turn into old habits. But now you know everything about my life. Next Tuesday, they're coming to remove the old water heater, remove the furnace, and rebuild the platform, put the new furnace in. New AC unit in, and this is a perfect time of year for that because it's not too hot, it's not too cold. So, and then the plumbers are I called them, the one who went with is the one who wasn't able to come out and do the gas because they were so busy. I said, can you replace it after Tuesday? And she said, that's not going to be a problem. The earliest they can probably do is next Friday. So hopefully I'll have hot water in the other side of the house next Friday. No, I really don't like giving up my Fridays for something like that because I need to go to Waco and have my car serviced. But I can do that this Friday. I have all these books. I decided to get rid of some books. I need to take them to half-price books up. I'm planning on to Watauga where my niece works. Let her give me a good price for all these books. I'm sure she'll have to give me what she might not even be the book buyer, probably won't be, but anyway. And my sister-in-law told me they're only taking, or my other niece told me they're only taking 2 boxes at a time. So I have 5 or 6 boxes of books, so I'm gonna have to hit every half-price books between there and Watauga. Don't do that. Anyway, let me do our reading today. Maybe I can get this guy out of the room. I love this new chair. This chair fits better than, well, maybe it's not, maybe it's about the same, but it seems like it fits better than the sofa and love seat. It seems like they're short, they're not as wide where you sit. I like it. This is fairly comfortable. I think I could live here and sit in this. Anyway, we're turning to, like yesterday, we're in the former prophet, Samuel. There are 4 former prophets in the Old Testament, the way the Hebrew scriptures are written. There's Joshua, Judges, you skip Ruth, the books of 1st and 2nd Samuel, which they consider one book, and 1st and 2nd Kings, which they consider one book. So those are the 4 former prophets. The latter prophets are Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and then they count the 12 minor prophets as the fourth group of the latter prophets. So some books that we consider prophecy, like Daniel, is not. It's considered. There's the Torah, there's the prophets, former and latter prophets, and then there's the other books. And Daniel, and it's Torah is the most important, most authoritative, I should say. The prophets second, and then the other readings, which include Psalms, Proverbs, Chronicles, Ruth that we skipped, Ezra, Nehemiah, all those. They're not as authoritative, but they're still very, very important. Anyway, we're looking at verses 20 and 21, but I'm just going to go on and read verse 19. This is chapter 30 of the latter prophet Isaiah. Truly, O people in Zion, inhabitants of Jerusalem, you shall weep no more. He will surely be gracious to you at the sound of your cry. When he hears it, he will answer you. Though the Lord may give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet your teacher will not hide himself anymore, but your eyes shall see your teacher. And when you turn to the right, or when you turn to the left, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. The teacher there is capitalized. And so I wonder, and this is the NRSV, I'm sure that's an editorial decision to capitalize teacher there. I think. Of course, that makes us think of God, which I guess the Spirit. Anyway, and maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe that's why they capitalized it. We're in Wednesday of week 46. I feel like I'm just much more relaxed with this because I can cross my legs. Anyway, I'm odd. Here's our reading. More ways in which God may speak. We read the first 5 yesterday, and we'll do the last 3 today. Or no, last 4 today. No, last 3. So if you skipped yesterday's, go on and do yesterday's and read the first 5. We are continuing our consideration of how Christ speaks to us and how to receive from him. Number 6, he may speak to us through some opening providences, through some opening need. Here's a need. I can meet that need. Therefore, that need is a call to me from God. Don't wait for specific guidance when there is a specific need at hand. Here is a passage to the point. Do whatever your hands find to do, for God is with you. That's 1 Samuel 10:7. When God is with you, then everything is an open opportunity. You can do everything in God's name and for God's love. But there may be a specific need which you can specifically meet, a need at home or abroad. Then that need may be your call. God fits the man and matches him against that need. After working for some years with the outcasts of India, I saw a need to work among the high caste intelligentsia. It grew upon me, and God gradually prepared me to meet that need. I cannot remember any single moment when God called me, but I knew that God had matched me against that need. Number 7, God may speak to you through your heightened moral intelligence. When you are surrendered to God, he can think his thoughts through you. Your thinking and God's thinking are intertwined like the words and music of a song. Jesus said to his disciples, "And why do you not judge for yourselves what is right?" That's Luke 12:57. He expected them to be attuned to God, that they would judge for themselves what was right. The meek he will guide in judgment. That's Psalms 25:9 in the King James. The meek, the surrendered, will be guided to right conclusions. Number 8, he may speak to you through the inner voice. When these other words are not available for guidance, then God speaks directly through what I would call the inner voice. It is not an outer voice, a voice that can be heard by the ear. The words frame themselves within the mind. You can speak to yourself without an audible voice. In like manner, God can speak to us, but it is real speaking. And Jones talked about the inner voice often in his writing. Like the inner voice told him something. And like once he was on a ship and traveling from India to India. I can't remember exactly where he was going and where he was. But his inner voice said, "Go and look out the side of the ship there and look at the cargo being unloaded." And he looked out and they were unloading his luggage. And his luggage needed to go with him. And so the inner voice told him that. So, and I think we all hear a voice, and sometimes that inner voice is, well, I think I said this yesterday, we confuse the inner voice with our voice, with the voice of our own desires. And so we can talk ourselves into doing a lot of things we shouldn't do because we can think, well, that God told me that, or we think it might be God, but really, it's just something we really, really want. Here's our prayer for today. O Christ, my Lord, you have promised that your sheep shall know your voice. I want the trained inner ear to hear the inner voice. For everything depends on my right recognition of you speaking. Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. Amen. And our affirmation for the day. My trained ear shall hear God's voice, and my disciplined will shall act upon it. The word of the Lord. That's not what I'm supposed to say. That's what I read after I read the Bible. I'm really tired. I did not sleep well last night. Jesus is Lord.